When the son of a poor black cleaning lady walked into the marble-floored office of an Arab millionaire, nobody in that room imagined that the next few minutes would change their perception of him, and themselves, forever. The boy's name was Daniel Carter. And though he stood nervously in front of the polished oak desk, his story had begun years before that day. The struggle. Daniel was born in a cramped apartment on the rough side of the city. His mother, Marion Carter, worked tirelessly as a cleaning lady, scrubbing floors, emptying trash bins, and polishing the glass windows of corporate offices that seemed too high for her reach. She was often invisible to the men in suits who passed her by, their expensive shoes clicking against the tiles she had just mopped. His father had abandoned them when Daniel was only 3. That left Marion as the sole provider, stretching every dollar to pay rent, keep the lights on, and put food on the table. Life was not easy. Sometimes, dinner was just rice and beans. Sometimes, there wasn't even that. But Marion taught Daniel one lesson every single day: son, people may look down on me because I clean floors. But I do it with dignity. And I believe you'll rise higher than this mop ever can. The library refuge. From a young age, Daniel developed a hunger for knowledge. After school, while other kids played video games or hung out on the streets, Daniel went with his mother to her cleaning jobs. He'd sit in the quiet lobbies of tall office buildings while she worked upstairs. That he didn't have toys or gadgets, but he discovered something better: books. The public library became his sanctuary. Its rows of shelves, filled with worlds, ideas, and voices, became his playground. He read everything: history, science, literature. But what fascinated him most were languages. That he picked up an old French textbook one day and tried to sound out the words. At first, it was clumsy, awkward. But the rhythm intrigued him. He began repeating phrases, then memorizing them. He realized that every language was like unlocking a door to a new world. French led to Spanish. Spanish led to Italian. Italian to German. Each language became a challenge he refused to lose. Against the first breakthrough. One day, when Daniel was about 12, he was helping his mother clean a lawyer's office. A client walked in, an elderly French man struggling to explain something. The lawyer was confused. Daniel hesitated, then quietly stepped forward and translated the man's words perfectly into English. The lawyer stared in shock. "Where did you learn French?" Daniel shrugged nervously. "From books. From listening." The Frenchman smiled, patted Daniel on the shoulder, and said, "Vous êtes un garçon très intelligent, you are a very smart boy." That single moment lit a fire inside him. The road to 9. Learning one language was difficult. 2 was harder. By the time he attempted his 5th, German, people laughed at him. "Why waste your time?" they asked. "You'll never be rich. You'll never use this." But Daniel didn't stop. He practiced with anyone he could find: tourists in the park, exchange students, taxi drivers from foreign countries. His accent wasn't always perfect, but his determination was flawless. He used free online videos late at night, when the apartment was dark and his mother was asleep after long shifts. He scribbled vocabulary on scraps of paper, taped them to the fridge, and whispered words to himself while riding the bus. Years passed. By the time he was 20, Daniel had mastered 9 languages: English, French, Spanish, Italian, German, Russian, Arabic, Mandarin, Chinese, Japanese. Each one represented not just words, but years of persistence, sacrifice, and resilience. The meeting. And that's how he found himself in the office of Karim Al-Hassan, one of the wealthiest Arab businessmen in the city. Marion had worked as a cleaning lady in Karim's building for over a decade. She never asked for favors. But one day, with tears in her eyes, she gathered her courage and said to him, "Sir, my son has something special. If you would just give him a few minutes, I promise you won't regret it." Karim was amused. A cleaning lady's son? Special? Still, he admired Marion's honesty and loyalty. So he agreed. The day of the meeting, Daniel walked in with nothing but determination. No expensive suit. No degree from Harvard. Just his mind and his will. Karim leaned back in his chair, surrounded by his board members. "Your mother speaks highly of you," he said. "So tell me, what makes you think you deserve my time?" Daniel met his eyes and answered, "I speak 9 languages." The room erupted in laughter. The proving Karim raised a hand. 9 languages? Impossible. Prove it. Daniel nodded. He inhaled deeply, then spoke in French. The fluid sentences rolled from his tongue, making the French businessman present straighten in surprise. then he switched to Spanish, fast, rhythmic, musical. Italian followed, lyrical and warm. German came next, precise and disciplined. Russian echoed deep, commanding. The room grew quieter with each switch, then Arabic, Karim's own language, spoken fluently, respectfully. Karim's eyebrows rose, Mandarin followed, sharp and tonal. Then Japanese, calm and elegant. Finally, he ended in flawless English. 9 languages. No hesitation. No mistakes, the laughter was gone. The room was silent. The opportunity. Karim stood, circled the table, and approached Daniel. "Do you know why I laughed?" he asked. Daniel shook his head, "Because the world is full of dreamers who say big words but show nothing. You are not one of them. You've shown me something rare. Talent with discipline. Ambition with humility." He turned to his board. "From this day, he works with us. He will travel, negotiate, and represent me. Pay him whatever it takes." The board members looked stunned, but none dared argue. The rise. Over the next few years, Daniel's life transformed. In Beijing, he negotiated a multi-million-dollar deal directly in Mandarin, impressing Chinese officials. In Paris, he calmed tense discussions in flawless French. In Dubai, he spoke Arabic at a business dinner and earned instant respect. In Moscow, his Russian opened doors that money alone never could. Everywhere he went, he wasn't just translating words, he was building trust. And trust is the currency that buys the biggest deals. Karim grew to rely on him, not just as an employee, but as an advisor. A partner, giving back. Yet Daniel never forgot where he came from. The first money he earned, he used to pay off his mother's debts. Then he bought her a house, with a kitchen where she never had to scrub other people's floors again. When Marion finally retired from cleaning, she cried not from sadness, but from joy. "My son," she whispered, holding his face. "I always knew you'd rise. But I never imagined this high." The legacy. Years later, Daniel stood on a stage, invited to speak at an international conference on business and culture. People applauded as he took the microphone, and he said, "I've been asked what my greatest achievement is. Is it speaking 9 languages? Is it traveling the world? Is it working with one of the most powerful men alive? No. None of that. My greatest achievement is proving that a poor black cleaning lady's son could stand here today, and make her proud." The crowd rose to its feet. Moral sparkles. The moral of Daniel's story is simple: greatness isn't inherited. It isn't bought with money. It's built, day by day, sacrifice by sacrifice, word by word. Never underestimate someone because of where they come from. True power lies not in wealth, but in resilience, persistence, and courage.